Be the first cabinet ever that is evenly composed with as many women as men in the cabinet. This will be the first cabinet ever with a majority of people of color occupying this cabinet. And it has more than a dozen history-making appointments, including the first woman Secretary of Treasury, the first African-American Defense Secretary, the first openly gay cabinet member, and the first Native American cabinet secretary.
Who cares? Like, seriously. Who cares, man? Hey, what's good, beautiful people? I'm your host, King.NathanJr, back at you once again to share a common man's opinion. So today's episode is about Sleepy Joe. If you don't know, Sleepy Joe is the president of the United States, Joe Biden. He is an interesting character, to say the least. He's damn near a million years old. He's senile than a motherfucker, and he thinks pushing the gay agenda, pushing like this whole outright race and homosexual, transgender thing is gonna fix the fucking world. But no one cares. I don't give a fuck what your sexual orientation, your preferences, your pronouns are. No one really gives a fuck outside of these crazy ass people, right? So today I came across a video from your favorite host from Fox News, Tucker Carlson, right? And it's interesting to say the least, but let me start running my mouth and show you what I'm talking about.
This will be the first cabinet ever that is evenly composed with as many women as men in the cabinet. This will be the first cabinet ever with a majority of people of color occupying this cabinet. And it has more than a dozen history-making appointments, including the first woman Secretary of Treasury, the first African-American Defense Secretary, the first openly gay cabinet member, and the first Native American cabinet secretary.
Okay. Who cares? Like, seriously. Who cares, man? Like, we really pushing this whole gay agenda to the point of, like, the White House speaker has to be a fucking homosexual man. Like, the only people who have a voice and opinion these days are those who have been socially oppressed, right? This man cabinet lineup sounds like the lineup on like the government that would cause the end of the world. You have all these people from all these different small little factions and shit who's supposed to represent the whole of us, who are so fucking out of touch with the reality in which we live that they just say and do stupid shit that no one within their constituency wants. No one wants this shit. Every person that I talk to, when it comes to this whole transgender shit, are uncomfortable by it. Because they don't want to be this bigot that gets labeled as homophobic or transphobic when they just don't care. A lot of times, like, people get mislabeled racist when they simply don't give a fuck. It's like, they're not racist, they just don't give a fuck. But we think if we don't give a fuck, that makes us a bad person. I'm gonna get in closer here. I don't know how much shit the average person got going on in their life. And y'all want them to give a fuck about your sexual orientation? Fuck off, man. Nobody care who you fucking. Most people draw the line at fucking animals, children, and like people who aren't consenting. But other than that, do your thing, man. If you a big burly dude and you wanna fuck other big burly dudes, I promise you I don't care. No one does. If you a big Sasquatch ass woman and you wanna fuck a small little midget man, no one cares. Will you be looked at crazy and shit? Yeah, sure. That's what people do. But nobody is standing in line trying to buy guns to prevent you from doing that shit. Because no one cares. Nobody's stopping this shit. Most people got a problem when you try to propagate this shit to the masses. There is absolutely no way in hell this agenda would get past the fences of those who think. It won't. It won't. It can't. Because no one cares. No one cares. So, please, down below in the comments, if you give a fuck about people's sexual orientation, their preferences and shit like that, drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 down below in the comment section. Say, I give a fuck about people's sexual orientation and shit. It won't be many, if any. Because no one cares who you fucking. But the thing about society is it changes so fucking often that next week the oppressed class might be the oppressors. And I personally believe that's what we're going to. Because it's just the oppressed imitating the oppressor by oppressing themselves. Them foolishly seeking acceptance in a world in which they will never be seen as equal. This shit is stupid, man. But only once we abandon this mindset may we truly advance to like our true potential. Because this is not it, man. This is not it. This is not the America that I held my hand up and said that I'd die for the Constitution. I helped support and defend this whole fucking thing. This shit is tyranny, man. This shit is tyranny. All of what we hold valuable, all that we think is right and just, has been flipped on its fucking head, man. Has been flipped on its head. You got trains derailing left and right. You got weather balloons, whether they be spy bots or planes or unmanned aerial vehicles from outer fucking space. Who fucking knows? However, the main concern of our great government is be gay. Be gay and buy solar panels. Be gay and transgendered and own a EV. Even though I might live in a state that bans them, I don't have enough sufficient charging stations. We never ask ourselves, like, why do we continue to support a broken system? Time and time again, we have been shown that, one, our values and opinions don't matter as straight, heterosexual, God-fearing, righteous people, alright? You guys are old news. No one cares about you. You're the reason why the world is like this, even though we propagate and push stupid stuff that's counterproductive to our overall success as a nation, right? We're gonna not allow freedom of speech. It's tailored speech now. As long as you can say whatever you want to say, as long as you don't offend those people who may be offended by your voice and your words, which is damn near everybody who's been pacified and coddled for the past couple years, man. Now the whole new civil rights movement is affirming and standing up for transgender. Who, like, and the biggest supporters of these like thought processes are those who will be victimized and taken advantage of by these things being implemented. Women, naturally born, as they say, cisgendered women. I hate that fucking term. Because it's you all who will be written out of history. All over the country, all over the world, in fact. You have transgender people, transgender men, or transgender women. I think that's the proper scientific term, if you can call it that. So you have men who transitioned into women sometimes, or they just said they were, and now they compete with women. Naturally born women are competing with naturally born men who have transitioned into women. It could have been 6 months ago. So we're just going to ignore all the scientific data that we already have established by the same scientific community who is now overturning all of what they were talking about. That, oh no, there are no differences between men and women biologically. Yeah, there are. Well, they're not that significant. Well, why are you transitioning? If, as a man, you're not defined by your genitalia, why are you, as a woman, trying to change your genitalia to better identify with a man? And as a man, why are you trying to chop your junk off to better identify with women? If I am more than my genitalia. Like, it's stupid, people. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. But the more and more we feed into it, the more and more we're going to be fucked up by it. Specifically, women. See, you guys are being used as pawns to tear away at the basic structures of what we know to be right and wrong. Because you guys are teaching children this shit. So you're undermining the basic fundamental principles of male and female. And now we have this whole dynamic where, like, divorce is going up. Children are not being born. Nobody's coupling. Nobody, like, come on, man. This shit is crazy. It's crazy, but again, we just keep feeding into it because we don't know what to do. I posture to say that going down this dark and dangerous path isn't the answer. Just to see what's at the end of this fucking abyss is stupid. But hey, man, who am I? Who am I? I'm just a man, sharing my opinions. That's all I have for today, people. If you like what you heard and saw, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so when I do drop another video, you will be notified. Have a great day.